Hey guys, E10 here from SunBros, and today I'm really excited to bring you guys another Spotlight video. This one's going to be on Moskov, the Spear of Quiescence. Now I've been playing a ton of Moskov lately. I've been tinkering with the builds. I've been going through all my processes to get you guys the best high quality guide content that I can. And now that I feel comfortable, that I found a really solid build, and I did this through endless tinkering games, guys, but I've gotten 7 of my last 8 games have been MVPs on Moskov, so I'm pretty confident now that I've got the build that I like, and I'm excited to bring you guys that right now. So let me talk about Moskov. First of all, I think he's probably the best ADC in the game right now, or best marksman, if you will. Potentially one of the best heroes in the game. His total toolkit is pretty impressive, but the way he's able to, I mean, you guys see from right off the get-go here, Moskov's offense is all the way at the top. He does nutty, crazy damage. His toolkit is 100% offensive, and I love him. I'm a pretty aggressive player, so he's really the ADC for me. I feel like he's in a very aggressive ADC. So let's start up by talking about Moskov's passive. Moskov's passive is Spear of Quiescence. Moskov's basic attacks can penetrate the targets and deal damage to enemies behind him. Essentially what happens is whatever first target he hits, in whatever angle you're aiming at the target in, you'll have the spears come out the back and hit anyone who's behind them. Now the second part of it is if it hits an enemy successfully, the cooldown of Abyss Walker and Spear of Death will be reduced by 0.7 seconds, which is going to be your first and second abilities respectively. So this can be used in a bunch of different ways, but mainly my main way to use it is just a really good farming ability. If you line it up properly, you can get all 3 guys in a wave and just knock them all 3 down at the same time. It's really, really great for that. If you really want to be aggressive and have great positioning, you can kind of tilt yourself around the minion you're hitting to be able to get some auto attacks off on the enemies behind them. If you can line them up, it's pretty amazing for that also. You know, if you want to be fancy in the jungle, you can line the blue and the minion on that side up, and you can get them both going damage at the same time. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, guys. It's a pretty great ability. So one of the better passives in the game for sure. And next we got Abyss Walker. So essentially all this is Moskov teleports. It's a very short teleport, kind of like Cho's Shun Po. It's not very long range, but it's pretty great. It enhances the attack penetration ability and increases your attack speed for 3 seconds, which is great. It's really good on him. And essentially what I use this for is 3 things. Number 1, I either use it to teleport diagonally to someone, or you know, where I'm kind of perpendicular with them so I can knock them into a wall, and that's his second ability. And so we use those in combination to be able to get stuns off. If you knock an enemy hero into a wall, or an enemy hero gets stunned. So I try to use my Abyss Walker to essentially teleport to get myself into a good position to stun the enemy, and then Moskov's gets that increased penetration, that increased attack speed, and you know, it's a good way to get kills. It's a great thing to do in 1v1. Additionally, I use it to get away. If I can use it to teleport to get away, it's awesome for that. So maybe a knockback teleport is really good if you're trying to survive. Lastly, I kind of use it for, so it's kind of an interesting one. What I do is I try to teleport behind an enemy, not to stun them into a wall, but to launch them into my tower, or launch them into my enemy or my teammates. I don't do this like in a team fight situation, but like laning or like a 2v2 situation, it's pretty useful to do then. So yeah, Abyss Walker is a great ability. It's a short teleport that gives you some nice buffs on it for 3 seconds, but it has its definite great uses. Next, we're running into Spear of Death. So Spear of Death is awesome. Moskov strikes an enemy hero with full strength, dealing a bunch of damage and knocking the target back. If the target collides with an enemy hero, then both of them will take damage and be stunned for 1 second. If you knock the enemy into an obstacle like a wall or a tower, the enemy will be stunned for 2 seconds. The enemy that's hit by the skill cannot go in stealth for a short while. So it's I mean, what do I mean to tell you? It's one of the best abilities that marksmen have in the game. I mean, it's an impressive stun. You can knock them into, you know, you can knock heroes together and stun all of them. Just a really solid ability. It's good for getting away if you want to knock the enemy back and get away. It's good for setting up kills. If you can stun 2 enemies together, and you know, you have your passive and the spear's just going through and going through and going through, it's actually really crazy damage. You essentially are killing 2 people at one time. So the Spear of Death has a lot of uses, and stunning people into walls and into each other is incredible. Using it to get away. I mean, one of the better abilities that marksmen have. It's phenomenal. All right, and last we are going to go with Spear of Destruction, which is Moskov's ult. Moskov's ult. He throws a Spear of Destruction out. It deals a pretty good amount of damage. It's not nearly as much as you would think. It isn't like if you see somebody like a 0.25% health, or whatever. It's not going to kill most of those low people. But if you see them low, it'll kill those people. But I use it during team fights. If I knock a couple guys together, I'll get a couple autos off and then launch it to finish somebody off. It's just kind of part of his overall damage toolkit to get people killed. Obviously, if you have somebody running away from you with low % health, you try to knock them down and finish them off with that. Same as you would with Yi Sun Shin's Blood Flood's ability or Layla's ult or something like that. That's the better stuff that happens. But it is global and you can throw it map wide. So it is a pretty good one. For each enemy that it hits, it'll provide Moskov with a buff of 10 points of attack power, stacking up to 5 players. So, or 5 layers. So you could potentially get 50 extra attack power if you hit 5 people with it. So doing it early in a team fight, not necessarily a bad thing. You could hit, if you hit 3 or 4 of them, you get a nice boost to your attack damage before you go into that fight. Not a bad thing at all. But that's it for Moskov's abilities. And now I just want to talk a little bit about how I see him being played. I mean, essentially the combo for Moskov is to use his teleport and knockback to set people up to die. Whether you're doing that as very offensively, so you're 1v1, you're teleporting, knocking them into a wall and finishing them off because of those buffs, or you're going to be, coming out of the jungle into your lane again and then knocking that hero under tower to finish him off. I mean, there's a lot of uses for it, and just really great. He has a really impressive toolkit. His damage is really good, and I can't wait to show you guys the build that I got for him on the gameplay video. The build I got for him right now. I mean, I'm telling you guys, so much time spent fiddling with builds, and I found one that I'm in love with. This build is the truth. It is phenomenal, and I'm excited to show you guys that build. But overall, I give Moskov 2 thumbs up. He is a great ADC. Really, his one area where he's his shortcoming is his actual range. His range is very low. I believe he's the lowest range ADC in the game. Now, having said that, he has abilities in his toolkit like the knockback, the teleport, and the crazy damage that make him still very viable at that range. It's just all about how you play him. So if you learn to play Moskov the correct way and using these abilities to maintain distance and to set up yourself in the proper positioning, then you're going to be fine. It's not going to be an issue for you at all. So it takes some time getting used to with Moskov, the positioning issues and, getting used to the short range. But once you get used to it and you get used to using his abilities in combination to one another, you're really, really going to be good with him. And his damage and his ability to affect team fights is off the charts. If you think about how many times as a marksman or an ADC, you are the only guy you have range for is the tank. Well, now you can actually knock the tank back into the squishies in the back line, and you can go to town on all 3 of them or all 4 of them, or however many you get. I mean, it's really impressive what Moskov can do, not only in a 1v1 situation or a 2v2 situation, but in those really important 5v5 team fight situations. So Moskov is awesome. I definitely suggest you guys got it. I actually bought his skin today, the Spear of Bone Dragon, which is really awesome. But I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoy the content. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the videos, go check out the other spotlight videos and gameplay videos and guides I have, and comment below with what you guys think about Moskov. If you think he needs nerfed or buffed, or if you like one of his abilities or one of them drives you crazy. Let's just talk about Moskov and anything else you guys want to talk about in the comment section below. But as always, till next time.